Hello, everyone. Welcome to the trip. This is DWTT. I'm Gary. I got Tony with me. How you doing, Tony?
I'm doing all right.
Cool. And before we get started, one thing I saw I guess a tweet or a message, whatever you want to call it. Um, for those who watched the Chelsea match, they would know somebody named Wesley Fofana. Personally, I think he should have been out of that game, but that didn't happen. But there was I guess, a lot of abuse thrown his way. I don't appreciate that. I don't think that's necessary. I'm not, that's just kind of me. That's kind of how I work. But I know they're going to try to figure out who's doing it and try to clean that up. But not necessarily in the game. Not necessarily in the game.
They've been trying to do that for 20 years and they haven't succeeded.
Yeah, well, sometimes it works. It doesn't always work. It's not always going to work, but sometimes it works. So
I just remember Terry Henry in like 2004 working on the no racism in football. And
well, I'm talking about like people have posted something, and so that's yeah, I know that it's a little bit different than when Henri was it was playing football. It was a lot different, 5, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Everything's different now. They know, if they want to know, they can figure it out. It's whether or not they want to or not. So we'll see. So hi, Russ is in the house. Welcome to the show. Russ says good evening, the trip, thank you, and good night. I'm not sure that means he's going straight to bed, but sounds like it. So have a good night's rest, and Russ will talk to you later.
Russ was supposed to went to bed 2 hours ago.
Oh, I don't know when that message was sent. So that message might have been sent 2 hours ago. Or he might have been sent, 4 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, we're going to get into it. Spencer, we were waiting for Spencer, or not necessarily waiting for him, but he didn't say he wasn't going to join, but I hate having not necessarily hate having to, but I would like us all to be chatting about the same things. But, we'll get into it, and he'll have his say when he gets in.
He doesn't take that long to play catch up.
Yeah. No, I get it. Got BX in the house. Welcome to the show. Big Gunner's in the house. Just greetings, everyone. Welcome. Similar to us, I'm going to bed. Hello. And that's from Mr. Tom. I'm going to bed. Hello and good night. All happened at 7 p.m. Gonna take advantage by having an early night. Enjoy. That's right. The wrestling was on tonight. I don't know what. I guess an hour early is because of the hour.
5 hours early, Gary.
Oh, 5. Oh, I don't know. 5 hours early. So there you go. So yeah, if you can get some rest, do it. Sleep is for the dead. Yeah. Well, sometimes if you don't sleep, you're dead. So you have a choice. Yeah, I can sleep when I'm dead, but sometimes depending on when you want to be dead. If you never sleep, you might be dead sooner than you want. So I say, get the rest. When your body says go to sleep, go to sleep. Listen to the thing.
Yeah, my body, it's better to get 4 hours of sleep because I actually sleep instead of toss and turn, and all my muscles and stuff start aching more of a more area. So.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get into it. Let's just start. It's like I like to do. He's tried enough times. He might be immortal. So there you go. So there you go. Some people just not going to happen. All right, Tony. So let's get into it. Arsenal v Chelsea. Going into the game, I'm saying to myself, can we just find a way to score? Can we figure out how to get a starting lineup that will get us goals? And I say this all the damn time. Can we at least get a little bit better from the last game? But Ted had other plans. And yeah, Tom is a god or a demigod at least. There you go. Everybody's saying goodnight to Tony, to Mr. Tom. Sorry. Didn't like the front line, of course. If Martinelli is healthy, and I understand, some people are gonna. I don't know if it's an excuse or if it's an Arteta thing, but in where he supposedly might need some rest. He's still young. Going into an international break, I don't know why you would need, why he couldn't actually. I don't even. Did he play? I can't remember if he actually played. I just thought he would start. I think if you're looking, he did come in for about 10 minutes. I'm thinking if you have Nweri on the team, you have Martinelli who's healthy, and you have Trossard. How about it? It's the last game for a couple of weeks. How about you go with what I would think is our strongest lineup? Moreno has, Arteta has this the older guys get the preference, and I think that's crap all the time. But Tony, the only problem I had was with their front line in the starting lineup. What say you about the starting lineup?
I'm like you. I want Nweri in there, but he did skip from the under 18s. He totally skipped under 21s to be with the big boys his first season. So,
when do you think the last time he has played is? Because I hear what you're saying. I hear all this stuff, but
yeah.
it's not. He hasn't. It's not like he's been playing every game and he just took this one off.
No.
He hasn't played in a bit, if I recall. So it's not like he's not somewhat rested. Let's see when the last time he played is. Let's see.
I think it's still called Arteta has his pits.
No. I get like favorites and seniority and all this crap. I have this thing about just playing the best player. So he played. Let's see. He played PSV away. The one when we won 7-1. He did not play in the home match, so got a break there. He did play against Manchester United for about 57 minutes. So I can't remember if that means, yeah. So he started that one and it got pulled. I don't get it. And then he played about 12 minutes in the Chelsea match. So, he's played about 120 minutes in at least in 2 weeks. I don't think, I don't know. I think he could have started against Chelsea. Especially with Martinelli there. I don't know. I think the problem is Arteta just doesn't want to put Martinelli or Trossard in the middle. That's the only thing I can think of right now. I think he's happy with what he sees from Moreno, and I'm not. Got Miss Melina in the house. Welcome to the show, Miss Melina. She says good night to everybody and hello to everybody. Arsenal Midfits in the house. What? Did I miss that? I don't. Okay. All right. You said hello to him before he even said hello to everybody. At least I think so. Did I miss your intro? I don't think so. But yeah, you did. Oh, there it is. Sorry, Steve. Stephen, welcome to the show. Yeah,
Gary.
I just missed that one. Yeah, I missed it. Yeah, welcome to the show. Is it cold where you're at? And it's starting to get warm here, but I still feel cold. It's like 44 degrees now, and it's like in the 60s, but I'm still cold. I don't know. Yeah, we'll get into the Real Madrid. Yeah, we'll get into that Real Madrid matchup.
It's 78 here, Gary.
Well, you're in I don't know, the West. I don't know, Midwest. I don't know what it is. Southwest.
It's
I don't know, whatever you
South
want to call it.
South Central, technically, according
No,
to
there's
the
no such thing as
government.
South Central America. So stop that.
It's what the
We've got to.
government classifies it
No, you've
as.
never been classified as South Central America.
Go look at it. It's
No, I didn't
Texas,
say
Texas, and
that's not where
Oklahoma.
you are. I just said you're never classified as that. You might be classified as a Southwest. You might be
Yeah,
classified.
Southwest is what we learned in geography.
All right, so there you go.
It really depends what part of state you're in. There are parts that it's the South. There's parts it's the Southwest.
True.
There's parts where it's Midwest, and there's part where it's kind of like it is in Colorado. So
yeah. So we were talking about and where you're not starting, but the front lineup. That's what Arteta decided to go with. If Martinelli was healthy enough to get a start. I mean, he doesn't play. He's not playing for Brazil this year. I think because of the one injuries, but also his form's not up to par. So he gets a break. But yeah, I kind of wanted to see where he play with Martinelli and see. I think a lot of people would like to see that lineup just because maybe they can actually switch wings if they needed to. Give the defense something to think about. What do you say? Steven says they got a big snowstorm, but it's warming up. 28 degrees tomorrow. 36 degrees. Yeah, that is. That's not even our lows here. You got Scooby D2's in the house. Welcome to the show. Not only that, but look who's showing up a little bit early today. Got Bargav in the house. Bargav, welcome to the show. Oh, and look who joins us from south of where I live, anyways. Got Spencer in the house. Spencer,
Virginia.
what up, Spencer? I don't know if you're on mute or what's going on here. You don't want us to hear your voice.
We can't hear you.
I heard something at the end of that.
Yeah, you hear me now.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, no, I had streamed on some video games, so it was off my whatever that card is, the replay card. Anyway, who cares? I'm here. Sorry. How's everybody doing?
We're doing good. We just kind of we just started, so we just went through the lineup. I hated the front line. I don't know why we're talking about Larry Tunsil. I mean, I don't know why Scooby D2 is talking about Larry Tunsil.
He's a Washington fan.
Okay. I just remember him. Like, he went to University of Florida, and I just remember when he got drafted. Do you remember when he got drafted?
Yep. Gas mask. Yep, I remember.
Just not the right way to introduce yourself to the NFL.
His agent was like facepalm. But he's had a good career for himself as far as
he's a well, I guess he's a good football player. He's numb to it all, I guess, huh?
Oh, he's definitely numb to it. He was in that video at least.
All right, so tell me, front lineup, because I didn't like it. Tony, I guess, kind of agrees with me, which that's a surprise. But
that's not a surprise, Gary.
I was kind of hoping and where he would get a start with Martinelli if he's healthy to start.
I'm okay with it because I don't want to run in Wary in the ground. That's my
on international break.
So I don't. He's 17 years old. I don't want to run in the ground.
Oh man.
I mean, look, we got 3 points. I mean, I'm not saying it's a perfect world.
Well, we'll get into that as well because it was 3 points. But as I stated in my my message, I'm taking the 3 points, but I still want to talk about it. And for those who watched the watch along with me and Ryan, pretty much sounded like we didn't like the game at all, which I hate that game. Right, those types of games right now with the way we are playing. But taking the 3 points, but I would like something comfortable. We haven't had that much in the Premier League these days. Nothing comfortable. Nothing comfortable against a Premier League team in a while. We might have won, but nothing's been comfortable. And yeah.
I mean,
Oh, Larry Tunsil went to Ole Miss.
yeah, he was.
Why did I say Florida Gators?
I don't know.
I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, he was on that same team with Laquan Treadwell. You know, that was the one there.
Yeah, no, they were good. That was a good team. That was a really good team.
Well, it was all bought and paid for. I mean, you know.
Well, no, but it's a good team. You know, whatever. Like, well, nobody saw the receipts, right?
I mean, because people are like, yeah, I want to go to Oxford, Mississippi. You know, like, yeah, it's just
hey, it's all about the movie, man. It's because of the movie, right? Blindside. Come on.
I have an American football related question for Spencer.
Yeah.
Spencer?
Gary will allow it. Go ahead.
What is he? We haven't even talked enough football yet, and you want to talk about some nonsense I don't want to talk about. That's the only reason why you bring up questions. Is because
it's because you mentioned two different teams.
No, I didn't.
I was asking with these players that play on 4 or 5 teams. I know in the old day on the cards they would pick like Troy Aikman. He played at Oklahoma and played at UCLA. They would
nobody
on the card.
Nobody in the chat understands a word you're saying.
So now are they going to put all the schools they were at? Or do they just
pick which one they want to go? That's how that goes. That's why Jalen Hurts picked Oklahoma.
And then if they don't really want to pick a school, they just pick their high school, and then we move on. Is that all right? Can we do that? Can we just move on?
We're teaching people stuff here, though, Gary.
They don't want to learn any of this crap.
Well, they need to learn it. I mean, we can't be surface all the time. We got to go deep. You know what I mean? So we got to go past the surface. Yeah. So we're trying to.
It cost him a lot of money, but he made it up, man. He's not missing it now.
Oh,
he's not missing that money now.
He's done well for himself. You know, it's been on 3 teams, so they've been traded 3 times. So I don't know what that says, but
No, I like I said, I would like to see him where he get like more minutes. Like my fear is that he will get no minutes as soon as Sacker is allowed to play, and then we're like, what? And then like at some point he'll be like, Pitt, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. This is no fun. Yeah, I'm unhappy. Yeah, that is true. All right, let's get into it. We talked about the lineup. The only thing I really didn't like about it was the front line. Skelly being back in the lineup with Timber, I think right now is our strongest fullback. Set of fullbacks that we have. Some people even think it's better than if we were to bring in Ben White. Spencer, do you think Ben White has a starting position at fullback in this team? Like he can knock somebody out when he's fully healthy?
Well, that always is,
that sounds like your dog's like, hell no.
Wow. I guess Elway has spoken. I don't know. I don't know what that would. That's a tough one. I think so. Yes. I still.
Who's he? One who's going to bump and what? Yeah. Who's he going to bump?
I think you could still put Timber starting over Miles Skelly.
Yeah, that's what I think.
I mean, just because you're called up to England doesn't mean all of a sudden now you're God-given.
No, I just think he's a really good left back for us, and I think Timber is a really good right back. I know Ben White offers a little bit more in the attacking and all of that, which right now for me, Timber doesn't offer the same level. I think that Skelly is still hasn't acclimated to what we all, that attacking thing as much. Gets himself in trouble sometimes when he moves forward, but that's for me a young player thing.
I think Timber has better discipline in that inverted role of all the players I've seen play it. Whereas I've seen Zinchenko. I mean, Zinchenko is probably like, I can run around like a kindergartner out here and a bunch of bumblebees. Say no more, boss, and he does it. Skelly's like, to compare the two. That's a tough from a positional position. Like again, I'll die on this hill. Timber, when you look at the heat maps for him when he plays the left back, he is very disciplined on where he stays. But again, when Ben White was on a few times, Ben White would do kind of some inversions. But it's again that's something that's the problem with the fullback. Like we're literally talking about a position that turns into a midfield position halfway. When we're attacking. So it's
and our best midfielder at fullback is who? Skelly, come on. I know you didn't want to answer it.
No, because I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just trying to think of the other players I've seen play that position where if you talk about all around, again, like I want a defender in that position, right? I want someone that can defend because I think
Skelly has got
your
the
main
strength and he's got
responsibility
the
is
midfield, I think, experience. Tony, talk to me. Fullback. See, you said it sounds like you're on Spencer's side now. All of a sudden, he just joins. Next thing you know, I'm second fiddle. All of a sudden,
we did this last week too, Gary. We've agreed with this on Timber. Timber should be left. You should rotate. You just go in a circle. You take Scally and you put him where Partey should be. You play one defensive midfielder, no double holding midfield. That's stupid. You should play a back three, but we're not going to do that. But I like Timber better on the left. He very rarely goes past the halfway line. He'll stop and kind of think about it. That way you don't have Gabriel or Saliba racing back to try to stop something and usually Rhea running out too far where somebody could chip it. Luckily that hasn't happened to us, but it's going to happen. But to me, I just go in a circle. You put Timber there, like I said, on the left. You put White back on the right. And then you have Skelly in the midfield. Because what the fuck do you got to lose the rest of the season? You're going to be in the Champions League. Last year, you could have figured out, oh, Skelly's really good. Oh, I don't have to spend $50 million on Calafiori, which has been a total waste of money.
Okay, well, maybe he wasn't ready, and he's ready now.
Come on, Gary.
Maybe he wasn't ready, and he's ready now. Like Skelly's ready now. Yeah, he's 18. He's ready now. And Wary, we're talking about, he doesn't have he doesn't have the stamina to go game after game after game. So a year makes a difference according to what we're seeing, right?
Yeah, but he's a 17-year-old that didn't play in under 21s. He skipped it, went straight to a senior team.
You know, so, Dauman will skip a lot of levels if we let him. I think when you have a really skilled player, you can't hold them back just because of their age.
He should have been playing when Odegaard was gone. We all agree on that.
No, that's a different. You know, I would like to keep screaming that to the sky about that one, but you know that time is come and gone, and right now, I don't even think where he's behind Erdogan. And that concerns me as well. But you know, that's a different story.
What I would do with him, which I would do with a lot of the starters, you play him 60, you take him off at 30. If you really don't need him anymore, if you need him, you keep him on until 70. Then he gets 20 minutes of rest instead of Arteta just plays these guys usually until 5 minutes are left, and that's when the majority of our substitutions are.
If he doesn't start subbing at 55, he's not subbing until 75. That's the kind of that's kind of what I'm feeling about that. Yeah. So as Arsenal Misfit said, he prefers White at right back than Timber. Timber gets the left. Timber and Skelly will get the fight for the left. If that's the case, then Timber wins, right? I mean, I don't think anybody's saying Timber does not sit to anyone right now. Right, so if it's the difference between Skelly and Timber, Skelly I think could play at 8. So for me, I don't know. People are talking about Moreno in the midfield. I'm like, nah. I'd rather have Skelly in the midfield if I had a choice. I'd rather have Skelly in the midfield than Rice, and I know people hate that thought, right? Right, so. I think he's looked really good for me. So I would hope they don't kind of stop his or stemmy his progress. Arsenal Misfits got a little bit of a out there take. Saka comes back. Try him at left 8.
No.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that. I mean, yeah, he could play the position, but when you have Skelly, why don't you just play Skelly at left 8? You know, if you're gonna go a little crazy.
I would take a little bit of wide out on there and turn that 8 into a 9.
Initially, I thought that said left back, and I was like, all right, man, that's it. I said, okay, you know, because we still don't have a left back, right? But we have a left back. So, if Timber's a left back, if Timber's our left back, then we have one. But you know, Timber's a right back coming in. So there you go. Yeah, like I said, that leads me to our defense is solid. All right. I mean, I think we just need to plug some holes, but I don't think we need any big names to come in defensively right now. My concern, though, will Saliba stay? He said he wants to stay, but he's not signing any paperwork. And the rumor is that maybe the threesome from Liverpool might all just go to Real Madrid. That's kind of it sounds a little outlandish, but I've seen that, discussed or at least written somewhere. And that would make kind of sense, right? Because they all can leave on a free. If you could bring in a Van Dijk and then wait for Saliba, you would do that, right? Because Real Madrid doesn't want to pay a release clause.
But they're gonna be paying like 400,000 euros a week for those guys.
Yeah, but
plus a sign-on bonus.
Yeah, but there's rules for Real Madrid and there's rules for everyone else. Come on,
No, I'm just saying. I mean, that sounds a little crazy, but I mean, that's what they would want to. They would do that, right? They said they can get Van Dijk and Rudiger. I don't know if those two actually play in the same position or not, but that would answer some of their questions defensively, and Trent would help with the attack, right? And Salah, of course, would be just another $1 million to add to the big pile that they have, right? It's kind of
do you think that Saliba, if you were to do Saliba, Rudiger, or Van Dijk, he really gets in the team on those if they run?
No, I'm saying like Van Dijk would go there to put in another 2 to 3 years. Meanwhile, then Saliba his contract would be coming due, and he just
maybe
that's the only reason why I brought that up.
It depends on what happens with this team. I'll say this much, and I was talking to a buddy at work today. He's an Everton fan, and I was like, "Look, man, I'm like, everybody's, Arne Slot this, Arne Slot that. Well, he's about to find out how good Arne Slot is as a manager because he's about to lose Van Dijk, Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's winning with Klopp's team. So, I mean, they're still winning, but we're about to find out what happens with them. I don't know if I'm Saliba, if I would go to. I don't, like I said, it's 3 years from now. If we don't progress any further, he would probably think about leaving for sure, right? But I think if they're going to do a deal, they're going to try to make him $200K a week. I don't know what he's on right now. I think it's it's definitely 6 digits. But they're going to try to make him 200 some K a week defender. Absolutely, I think Arsenal will throw the pocketbook at him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if you were to replace someone of his quality, you're going to spend the transfer fee and the wages. So you might as well pay the wages. And if he doesn't want to do it, then you plan on moving on from him. So you can
you get the most money you can for him, and maybe you buy 2 players. So
here's the mistake. Here's the mistake, and this is obviously, I don't know the Aiden Heavens situation. I don't know what was said, how that went, whether he even was interested in saying. I don't really know. But that's a guy you had here where you're like, and I'm not saying Heaven's on the same level as Saliba, so everybody don't lose their mind, but you would have had a competent defender who looks competent so far at United. He looks like he's going to replace Maguire, might even be better than Lisandro Martinez. I don't know how he's going to come back from his Achilles, but you're looking at a guy who, you had here, and I'm not blaming the board. I'm not doing that, but
you know what? You can blame Arsenal. Yeah, somehow you've let a talented player walk out the door. Right. You've gotten nothing for him. You haven't he doesn't want to play for you.
Yeah.
Right. And you've got nothing for him. So you basically, this academy isn't working the way it should work. And you lose, not only that, but now you're losing money, and your academy doesn't look good. It's just it's a bad view. It's a bad
That
bad
that
view.
needs to be one
Yeah,
of the
it's like,
first things when we give a new football director. He needs to fix the leadership of the academy. It's not working because
it's
we've had
I don't know about
two,
okay.
two or three players every year is moving that would have helped us.
Yeah. And I think,
Yeah.
like, I mean, we've seen City let Palmer go, all right, for playing time. Now, and Arsenal's problem is players are leaving supposedly because we don't want to pay them, right? I mean, Hutchinson left because he didn't get the money. Cheeto left because he didn't get the money. Heaven, I'm not sure whether or not his was all about whether we were going to pay him the little extra that United did. But they've taken those players, and Heaven quickly got into a position where he's starting for them. I mean, I don't know how his injury is now because I saw him. I don't know if they carted him off or what, or if they put the stretchers out and whatnot. So we don't know. I don't know what the story is behind that. But yeah. No, I just think, like I said, I think it is a bad look on the academy when you got players just leaving like that are out there starting for teams and helping teams get promoted and looking like quality players that could be essentially at the worst squad players on your team.
Well, Spencer,
Tony, one second. Hold the question because I'm going to do a counterpoint to this. So with Nweri and Skelly performing, there's the counter opposite that the academy is working.
Yeah, but you can't be letting a Cheeto Martin and a Heaven go and a Hutchinson go.
Well, also, again, so you could probably get Hutchinson back because Ipswich is going down.
Yeah, but no. The problem was he was a talented player, and that's why teams were looking at him. That's why Arsenal wanted to re-sign him, right? So whatever, like for me, that's part of the recruitment that you have, right? When you're selling like Arsenal's already brought these players into the academy, right? For a reason. Now, why they're not thinking Arsenal first, right? Before they want to just go leave. Is the money really that good? Is the money really going to be that good when they in the long term? You know what I mean?
You don't know what they offered them.
No, I'm just saying, is the money really that good in the long term if you stay with Arsenal and you progress and move up, right?
It depends on what the motivation is. I agree with you. I agree, and we're also making these discussion on the premise that we're all Arsenal fans, right? So we're not thinking about it from the 17-year-old that might, I was in the academy there, but United's offering me 40, 50K a week. So I have to go take it. I don't know what the loyalty is in this game. I really don't at times. I hear people talk about it. I think it's one of what the old heads really always talk about, I went to Arsenal and, my dad was an Arsenal fan and his dad was, I just don't know if that exists in the modern game with the players. Right. So I think it's a two-sided coin where there's both truths in this, right? Where the academy is working, but also we're not keeping all the players we should be keeping. Where we are keeping some, where it's kind of like if the new director comes in and finds a way to make it even more efficient, or so people don't walk out the door, right? I think that's what we. I mean, the Heaven one, I can see why he didn't want to stay. I can see it. He's sitting behind Saliba and Gabriel, and you've got Martinez and Maguire at United, right? So, why would you not go challenge against those guys? Whereas Cheeto Martin's the one where I'm like, Havertz is doing his thing, but there's not another guy up there that has the label of striker next to him. Jesus is injured, can't stay healthy. Stay and compete. That's the one I don't get. That's the one where I have to wonder, blame the club. The player wanted to go to United, whatever, but it's a two-sided coin for me on this one. It really is. So,
Tony, you had something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I was asked Spencer, do you really have to spend money for a replacement for Saliba, can't you just move Ben White back to where he used to play?
I think you're 100% right. I think you.
I don't know, you guys. So you guys forget how he played as a center back, right? Do you remember like him playing as a center back? Do you remember those days? Because I remember them. They weren't pretty. Now, whether or not he can play that position now what did I say something wrong? Maybe the dog. I remember when he played as a center back. It wasn't pretty. I don't remember which game it was, but he definitely got turned and it didn't look good. Eventually he moved out wide a little bit, but can he play? Can he play? The question we keep the other part to that question is, can he actually play fullback anymore?
Because that's what happened at the end of last season. I kept saying he was injured, but still playing. I'm like, why can't you just go with a back three? And eventually, that's what they ended up doing, playing in the center back and a back three. Yeah. He wasn't bad in that way, but I think we could be all right. The main thing as a center back, you gotta have the partner on your flank, and if you have Timber there, you're gonna be fine.
I get that to a degree, but you still should stand out if you're a quality. Like he's a quality right back, right? White, all right, and
he was.
He until further notice, he is a quality right back, right? Same way Saka is a quality right wing, all right? People still consider him a quality and one of the top right backs. We haven't seen him play, so we don't know, but still, he is. I mean, they are quality players, right?
Yep.
So for me, yeah, I White as a center back didn't work, and that's why I think he moved. All right. I mean, he was moved out, so that's kind of like my thinking there. And once now he's established himself as a good right back in football, as BX says, he's a good right back, better than he was at a center back.
Yeah, so but you gotta watch those injuries because you've seen what
happened. If his if his injuries makes him worse, right? Then what does that say? That might help him as a center back, but does it help him as a center back the way we play it?
So I've got a thought, and I'm sorry to step away for a second, but if we start thinking about it, what your ideal starting four is, Gary, I'm assuming it's Skelly, Saliba, Gabriel, Timber,
right? My starting four?
Yeah, in the back. Are you going White over Timber?
It's Saliba and I want Skelly in the midfield.
Okay, so all right. Well,
that's what I did.
So my thought process here, I like Skelly in the midfield too. Just I want to see what he can do out there. But if you're thinking about this as a backup center back pairing, because that's where my mind is shifted to now, based on Ben White, Timber discussion, I think you can play Timber at center back. I think you should look at Calafiore at center back. As not as a main position, but as a backup. Like, hey, Calafiore can play left back for us in certain games, but he can also play center back for us in certain games too. Yeah. The guy that I would really transition to a center back is Tomiyasu, 100%, based on the body size, based on the knee injury history. He needs to be a guy that you're not asking to stretch the field as much.
Yeah,
that's a guy. He's big in the box.
Okay,
hitters.
Tell me something.
And that's where he plays
his
for
best
his
games. His best games that you remember, and I remember some of his best games. Where was he playing? Because I believe he was playing as a fullback in most of the games where his best games for Arsenal.
I don't think he's played center back for us yet.
Yeah, I'm just saying his best games. Like he has. I thought he's played center back for us, but I'm not 100. I'm not even.
He had some great stretches as a left back for us.
Yeah, I mean the game against Liverpool, right? He slowed down Salah. I say he shut down Salah. Shutting down Salah just means he didn't have free reign, right?
I really Tomiyasu is the guy I'm thinking about because he plays center back for Japan, right?
Yeah.
So that's my thought.
If he comes back once again, like as Tony
Yeah.
said, you know what, we've got 3 players now that have gone through some injury. Like even in Havertz, will he come back and be the same player? We don't even know.
We don't even know if Saka is, and that's why I'm looking at the season. I'm like, people are gonna freaking like lose their mind when I say this, but the goal is top 4 at this point. It just is. Sorry, maybe you can win the Champions League. I don't know. Go for it. But I think the reality is, and my premise, the top 4 is the goal, is to make sure that we get a Ben White healthy 100% for next year. Saka comes back 100%. Havertz comes back 100%. That they're not dealing with the same injury in the fall. That's my point.
Yeah.
So if you have to play in January, I know. I mean, I know I'm going to get cussed out for saying top 4 is not from you guys, but from the chat, whatever. But I think reality is getting the guys healthy again. That to me is the biggest goal right now.
Yeah, going into games, I've told you my goal is, can we play a little bit better attacking football? I'm not necessarily thinking about wins at this point. We can't win if we don't score, right? And we're not. We can't guarantee a win for ourselves if we can't score 2 goals, right? So for me, 1 goal with the way our defense is playing is a little scary. Got a couple chats here. We'll go through that, and we have some comments about that. Yeah, Steven's like, when healthy, he has no idea what to do with Calipari and Rice. Gets even murky with the rumored players coming in. Yeah, I mean, if Zubameni comes in, changes up our midfield a little bit. You know, if along with that is, will Martin Odegaard actually come back as well? We're still waiting for him to come back, right? Are we doing what we didn't want to do with what we're saying we don't want to do with Saka and Martinelli, bring him back too soon and have them, So will he actually come back? Is Martin Odegaard going to be the player in the next season, the one that we need now? So Calafiori, I think he's still young. If he's a center back, we should play him at center back. Let him figure that out. If he's not a fullback the way we want to play, right?
I haven't seen him have any defensive ability either.
That's what I'm saying. He's supposed to be a talent at center back. That's what we brought him in for, right? I think we weren't the only team looking at him. So I kind of feel like Arsenal to some degree is stemming the growth of some of their players because they never actually get to play the position they've been playing before they got here. Yes, they might be versatile, but it never helps them grow in the position that might be their strength, right?
Yeah, but we're not to get you rid of this bringing in utility players.
I don't think we're bringing in utility players. We're bringing in good footballers, and we're not actually utilizing them where their strengths are.
But that's what he wants to do. He wants to be able to play them in multiple positions, but you just need a person to play 1 position, then a backup that can play 2 positions, preferably.
I don't necessarily think that's the plan. I don't think he brought Skelly in and said, "Oh, you're going to be my left back." I don't think that's what happened. I think there was an opportunity to get him on the pitch, and he just played him, which is what we've been wanting him to do, right? Same thing happened to Saka. There's an opportunity for him to play. He played fullback, right? Eventually, the problem is, will Arteta actually allow him to grow? That's the problem. Will Arteta actually let the players actually, take that opportunity of playing football for a bit and then grow into the position they've loved on most of their life, kind of thing?
It's weird. Like Calipari makes a mistake, Arteta punishes him, and you have Skelly making a mistake, getting red cards or not. He hasn't been punished by Arteta.
But you know what? Then the people, for me, I think people would then go, that's like punishing Vieira for getting the yellow and red cards that he got. I think he makes up for with everything else that he does. Calafiori does not make up for his mistakes as much. Like, we can look at the body of work for me for Skelly and go, right now I can take some of those silly yellows and reds. Right, he might grow. We expect him to grow out of that. Right, Calafiori, does he make up for the defensive frailty that he has? I don't believe he does right now. not enough. He will make some timely scores and stuff like that, but he needs to be able to play defense at that role. Yeah, I think anybody think and where he's not going to get called up soon. Like I think I mean, I don't know. I guess the question is, where is he going to play? And that's going to be the next question. Does he actually, do they look at him as a left wing, or is he actually truly a what is it, an attacking mid? So anything on Nweri before we move on? I know I've got a couple comments, so I just want to answer them as we go through. Anything from
you? Like I said, I think it's criminal he didn't play more when.
Yeah. So you think of him as the attacking mid then, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's one thing. We probably won't talk about it, but watching the Real Madrid Atletico played an old school 4-4-2, and it worked. They almost got the win, but I think you have to be able to.
Did they almost get the win because of the 4-4-2, or did they almost get the win because of the penalty kicks?
I think a 4-4-2 helped them.
Win the game or keep them in the game? Sorry, what did you say there, Spencer?
I said I didn't watch the game, so I can't answer this question. So I'm gonna refer to you two gents. And
I don't think I saw much of the game, but I mean, when the fact that you go to penalty kicks, I don't know if they've missed opportunities to score, right? That's my thing about the way they played. Did that help them actually win it in 210 minutes? You know what I mean? Or did that just keep it close? And you can't in Real Madrid, it sounds like you're gonna have to smack them in the mouth a couple times before you solidly get that win. Or you have to play some really good defense. I mean, really good defense.
I think that the reality is, when you look at the Real Madrid, when is that first game? Is that coming back?
I think it's before my birthdays. I think it's the 4th or the 6th.
So for me, it's pretty simple. You just set it up defensively. I think you play on your strength, which right now is defense. I would nil them to death, and we'll see in penalties.
Sorry, it's the 8th. It's actually after my birthday.
I don't think that's how we'll actually play it. I think they'll actually have a go for it, which I think could be detrimental, especially if we don't have anybody that can put the ball in the back of the net.
That's why I think Nweri needs to get those minutes. That's why I think I need to get a little bit more out of it. Because for me, right now, he's the best attacker we got. When he's out there on the ball, when he's out there and he gets the ball at his feet, if you don't pass him the ball, if he doesn't get any service, you can nullify him that way. But when the ball is at his feet, I think he's the best one we got.
Do you think he's the best finisher? Are we talking best attacker? Are we talking best?
I don't know about you, but I feel comfortable when he puts his foot behind the ball.
Well, I watched Trossard miss one yesterday. That was
I think players miss.
Yeah.
So is he not clinical? I don't think he takes that many shots. So we can go, well, damn it, he had a 0 for 3 day kind of thing. I don't think he
doesn't have that massive.
I don't think he gets enough touches for that. That's the other part.
I'll have to look at that. My thought process is, I think he's really good on the ball, like outside the box too, and I think that's what we're missing at times. Yeah. We don't have that guy that can link stuff. Well, I still think Odegaard's really good. The way they have them play right now, it's just.
I think it's terrible.
They play wide. I mean,
it's terrible because I think it hurts. I think I don't want him to be the guy that makes the pass before the pass.
Who, Nweri?
No, I want Erdegaard to be the guy that makes the pass.
Yes, agree. No, 100%.
And like the way we're playing now, he's supposed to be the guy that sets up the guy who makes the pass. We don't have the guy that makes that pass.
I mean, go look at his average position in the game, and you'll be like, "That's not a 10."
No. That's why I want him. He can play the position. I want to push him up the pitch so I want to get more out of him. Like he should be thinking about scoring every game he's in. Yeah. Last thing on his mind is, will I have an opportunity to score? That's the last thing in his mind. I'm like, no, that should be part of the game plan. I mean,
4-3-1-2. 4-3-1-2 fixes it.
Whatever you're saying there. Who Who will be our new keeper? Ray has been scaring the crap out of me for a month. The errors have crept back into his game.
Raya.
I mean, some people could say he had a in the United game, he set up the line wrong, but then also some people would say, then why didn't Erdogan make sure that the line, they didn't push the line back and gave Bruno more space to play with, kind of things. And then when he does ask for them to check the line, they say, go screw it, we're just going to kick it anyway. So I don't know. I think no matter what was going to happen in that situation, it was bad setup by the referee, and he didn't set himself up good. If he moves a couple feet over to the left, he probably gets a hand on that. It doesn't go in. So I don't know about Ray. I think this season is wearing down because I think we're just not I think everything trickles down. Not having that front line trickles down to the midfield, trickles down to the back line. Put some pressure on the goalkeeper. He's got to be perfect every game, right?
And
you can't ask a player to be perfect for 90 minutes every game.
You also have to see that Calafiori's been stepped off 3 times now because of his play.
Yeah, he plays on the left, and all this stuff that's happening with Ray is on the right hand side sometimes, right? Like the last game, it was on the right hand side, right?
Well, you might be more focused on the left because that's where the team's weakness is. So you're not looking to the right as much.
I don't think Calafiori, if Ben White is getting back into the fold, I don't think Calafiori is probably, fourth fullback we got, and it means he won't play unless we have injuries, right?
Hopefully not.
Yeah. So the next thing here, letting Mika Bierif walk without even giving him a look or a game was criminal. Arteta doesn't know. Yeah, I mean, another attacker gone. All right, another attacker gone. Where is he? I hear something about Monaco or something like that. I forget where he is right now, but I just like we we are starving for attackers. We let 4 go, half on loan, half we sold. And in the last 2-3 years, we've let 4 attackers go. We've got the bare minimum for them. All right, that's crazy, right? We talk about needing attackers, and we're letting them go. We're not able to hold on to them. We can't even show them a way to get into the team. They're happy to just leave.
Yep.
I mean, like I said, for me, when you hold on to a Nelson and you hold on to an Nketiah, it doesn't show that there's going to be an opportunity for me, even though I might be better than them.
Yeah, but you up until this year, you had seen nobody in the academy get any regular minutes at all. So of course you're gonna leave if you see nobody's getting chances. Well, why should you hang around?
Yeah.
So I think that's the main reason they're leaving.
True. Yeah, I mean, I think
Spencer.
What's the question?
Well, why do you think all these players are leaving?
I don't know. Better opportunities? I don't know.
And that's a problem. How do you have better opportunities in Arsenal, who potentially might finish second for a third year in a row?
Well, I think you just answered the question.
Hello, people will go to Real Madrid who were winning the damn Champions League and winning the La Liga and all, whatever league they're in. All right, that's not. It's not like you're not selling your team well enough if that's what it is. Oh, because we're finishing second. I don't want to be part of that. That doesn't make any sense. They're going to teams where where they might get some playing time, but also where they might try to win something. All right.
I think it's
playing time. Yeah, it's about playing time.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. If Sack is healthy, he plays. If he's not healthy, he shouldn't play. That's kind of how I think about it right now.
Depends.
If he's not healthy,
it's not worth it. It's not worth. Oh, we got second, and Sack is out until December because he gets It's just not worth it.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, I understand what you're coming from on that. I just, for me, just if he's good enough to play, yes, play him. But please do not force him back.
Well, no, we're saying the same thing.
No, I know that. I just don't want to see the club like force something just to. Oh, we might have a chance to win the Champions League, and I want him to win it. But it's like I also don't want to lose Saka for next season, and then
you don't.
We're behind the 8 ball again, and I think we're saying the same thing. We are.
I think you treat the players coming back like this is a early preseason. Just treat it like preseason. You're not get subbed. You're not going to play that many minutes. I mean, there's no sense of because if Arteta has him in his toolbox, he's up playing 90 minutes.
Well, you know what? If this if Berta is signed, hopefully very soon, hopefully during the break, if he's who we think he is, Arteta's not putting Saka in the game if it's not making any sense long term. The whole thing's got to be long term. It just help us long term that he plays now. If it doesn't, then he don't need to play. Right? He doesn't need to play. I mean, that's why we have an academy. That's why you have players. Like, why is Nathan not playing? Right? That's going to be the question that Berta should be able to ask. Why are you not playing a striker in a striker position? Moreno can't play 90 minutes as a striker, right? I don't believe 100% the red on Skelly was only on Raya, because I feel like if Skelly protects the ball and that's the only thing in his mind is to get that ball out off the pitch, worst case scenario, then he doesn't have to reach out. I think he took his eye off the ball because there was a player there. There was some call of a foul potentially, but I believe he's strong. He's got the strength to maybe hold up. So I kind of felt like 2 years from now, Skelly's in the same situation, is clearing that ball. All right. Worst case scenario is he's tipping it back to the goalkeeper, who might be out of position, but at least it's not an opportunity for a guy to run out of Raya. So that's kind of my thinking on that one. I don't know what you guys thought about that. The red on Skelly. If it was all on Raya. If Ray's sitting in the box, what happens? It's 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. What difference is it?
I mean, I think Skelly's fault still for pulling him down. I mean, Raya didn't tell him to pull him down. I mean, the thing I don't like, and it's the tactic in general, like these high playing keepers. I'm not a big fan of it. I mean, you don't have to sit there back at your box, but this whole the keeper's at the 50 almost, and it's like I just don't like the tactic at times. So I mean, look, people are going to say what they want about Raya, but I think he's been fine. I don't think you're going to find much better.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think he's playing to.
And Skelly's 18.
He's playing the way Arteta wants us to play the game.
And that being said, like the stats line up that Raya is probably the best in the league right now. I mean, goals against are 0.83 goals against per game, which is the highest in the Premier League. He's got 11 clean sheets. I mean, we've been draw FC this year. We've got 10 games drawn. I mean, it's, we just, the things that I can't really, the Skelly one's on Skelly, but it's a learning curve for him, right? It's a learning experience, right?
That's why, once again, I think we're agreeing with each other.
Yeah, we always do, Gary. It's just naturally how it happens. We just say
I'm starting to hate this show.
Well, no, like Saturday we just agreed on Rice, and that was fun for a little bit. But yeah, look, it's
no. I understand why people think Ray is to blame a little bit, but I think Arteta is asking them to do that. I mean, I think that's where you have to be really, really careful with how you handle the ball.
Yep.
When that ball comes back to you, and if they give you a bad pass, for example, you clear that thing and you scream at the guy who made the pass.
Kick
right?
the ball out of bounds. Who cares?
Worst case scenario, I always say that. I say it to the little kids. Worst case scenario, we have to reset, but we didn't give up a goal. Didn't give it a goal. Yeah, I kind of agree a little bit with you, Stephen. Here, Ted has gutted Erdegaard's game. I think he's taken all the things that we liked about him. Like we saw. I don't know if you saw a little thing on Twitter today where they showed Martin with a nice little like chip pass in Cuckoo to get past him. I don't know if that's from the game or not, but it was a nice little touch of the ball which allowed him to get around in Cuckoo and head up the pitch. And I'm like, yeah, I want to see lots more of that. And those are the things that I think. Those are the things you can't teach. You know what I mean? Those are the things that normal players do. We don't see enough of them. Like I need like Erdegaard's like game to be like wow all the damn time. Like every other like touch is like yes. Got Tiger and Gunnar in the house. Well, good morning from Australia. Well, thanks for joining us. Yeah, California has nothing to do with Reyes' bad reading of the game, poor positioning, and poor passes straight to the tier fours. Now, you know what? We've seen that consistently. We've seen that periodically now. Bad passes, and I think usually what it is I think they lose concentration, and then the pass that should be going at 50 miles per hour is going at 25, and it just sets us up for problems. They don't want to stay and not play on it. Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, you got Nweri and Skelly who I think want to play under Arteta. So I think it's I think it's the whole favoritism thing and how Arteta. Everybody should be his favorite. And I read this book about marketing, and the one thing it said is the way that, if you guys recall, the way that you go into Amazon and you may have shopped for like 100 different things. When you go into Amazon, those 100 different things, there's a sale for it all over the page because it's yours. It's your page. Like Arteta needs to treat every player like he's their favorite. He's their favorite. There's levels to that, right? But everybody should feel like that's his player. And I don't think he does that. I think he treats them so differently that they're like, screw you, right?
My thinking is it's like if you have a tool shed, you go out there and you'll find tools that are full of cobwebs, and here we have the fiddleback. So you'll find all that stuff on the players that Arteta doesn't like. You'll be seeing shiny things that are repainted and polished and brand new handles.
And the way that it should be is that every tool has been touched and cleaned periodically, so they feel like they're part of the toolbox and they will eventually get used. That's how that should work, right? Everybody should like the way that at least up until the last two games, I've always felt Liverpool, all their players felt like they were part of the squad. And that's how he was able to get them to play the way he did. No matter how many minutes they got, they all came on and they produced, right? And I felt like that was kind of what Slot was doing with his squad. He's hit a little bump in the road, which is is bound to happen. But I felt like he treated everybody as if they were a part of the squad. Arteta doesn't do that, to me, in my eyes, anyway. Not enough, anyways. Everybody should feel they're part of it. Like everybody has a skill set that they can deliver, and he doesn't want to use it sometimes. Like we all feel Zinchenko might not be the best defensive left back, but if you put him in the midfield, you can probably get something out of him, and Arteta won't use him there for whatever reason. But everything says he's not a left back the way you want to play him, but he does have the skill sets to play in the midfield, and maybe he produces there for you. But he won't do it. He's forced to do it now, and I'm like, you can see it. Zinchenko wants to show he can do it. I mean, that shot he took, I'm like, that's what we want from Erdegaard. We want exactly that, all right? But Erdegaard is not allowed to take that shot. So I'm sorry, I'm rambling here.
It's fine.
Yeah. No, I hope Arteta does not. Yeah, as Spencer said, like I said, if he doesn't play, I'm all right with that. But if he plays, he's not playing 90 minutes, okay? Not for a very, very long time. Like, not ever, this season is concerned. Yeah. I don't think Skelly had any idea where Rayo was until it was. Yeah, see, that's the thing. If Skelly doesn't have any idea, that means he screwed up. He should know where his goalkeeper is. Like, and that's kind of, you need to know your surroundings, I believe, as a defender, where anybody is, so you have an outlet.
You know, I'm going to bring something up, and it's going to make people's eyes roll. But do you remember when Arteta had the pickpocket on everybody? That's situational awareness, man.
Yep.
People laughed at that, thought, "Oh, that's just a joke." That's where these moments come in.
The problem is, did Arteta actually articulate that to his players? I don't know.
They needed to know after. They probably did. I mean,
no. I hear what you said, and I think we say a lot of things.
No.
But like, did Arteta actually articulate that? Because remember the question he asked. He asked Lacazette in terms of the journey or the destination kind of thing. And no matter what Lacazette answered, it was going to be the opposite. You know what I mean? That's not really what you wanted to, for at least for me.
We all know. Yeah. Listen, all of us, I'm 38. You gents are a little bit older than me. We all know the journey is more important than the destination. We all know this.
Yeah.
Most of us know that.
I talk about the trip all the time, man.
Listen, I mean,
it's called the trip for a reason, man.
It's the motto of the show, Gary. And, you know, and you know, every people that come here on Monday and Saturdays and spend time with us understand the journey is more important than the destination. Lacazette's just young; he didn't know that at the time. He would probably put on the spot like, what do I say? And I again, people talk about that and they made fun of Arteta for it, but it makes sense when you think about situational awareness and knowing where you are on the pitch. And Skelly wasn't around for that exercise. If he was, he would have benefited from it. So this is obviously, we can see that the exercise needs to happen again. Like I said, I joke with it, but it makes sense. You know, I think I've brought this up before. Like when you're playing a game or anything in life, like you have to know what's around you. We're all men, right? We have families. We've gone into restaurants. You identify both exits, right? You sit down with your back away from the door. Maybe I'm the only one that does.
I think you're the only one that does that. I just sit down.
I do. I'm always looking down, watching people's hands. That's just who I am.
Yeah.
Gary's like, the first table is fine. I don't care.
Not me. I'm looking for exits and everything. But I was prior law enforcement, so obviously I'm just a weirdo. But look. I don't know, man. The Skelly thing and the Raya thing. For me, it's a teachable moment. Some of these red cards this year, though, haven't been teachable moments. Whereas I feel like Skelly. That's why I'm okay with Take care, Steve. I'm okay with failing with Nweri and Skelly. Like I'm okay with this because they're only going to get better from it. Period. Whereas if I throw Jorginho out there and he fails, well, you're already 31, dude. Like.
Yeah, the one thing about a 31-year-old is that you know your limit, so you shouldn't be putting yourself at risk if you don't have the pace you used to have. I need to probably control this ball a little bit better. I can't just have a heavy touch and go chase after it like I used to, and you know what I mean. All those little kind of things that you take for granted when you're younger.
Yeah. I mean, BX said it right there, grip in NYC. My head is on a swivel. He knows what I'm talking about. He knows.
I hear that. Yeah.
Listen, I made the comment earlier about top four being the goal at the end of the day. Like, and I don't like that. I mean, but at the same time, like, I just don't want to go into next season, minus a couple guys that. We probably could have avoided it if we, you put a little more faith in Nweri, Skelly, and hell, if you want to play Tyranny at left wing or whatever, I don't.
No, I mean, I think we should be utilizing our defense a little bit more because they are the strongest part of the team, and your defense is going to be stronger wherever they are on the pitch.
Yeah.
I think somebody on the coaching staff needs to go behind Arteta and tap him on the shoulder and tell him that we have 5 substitutions because we hardly ever use 5 substitutions.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's do the exercise, right? Let's legit exercise here. So look at Sunday's lineup and who were the 5 players you would have brought in and brought off. And I'm being
Murray would have come on at halftime.
Okay, there's one. All right. What else?
He only used 2, right? I think he only used 2 in this game.
Yeah, I think Murray was later on in the game.
I would have brought Ben White on to give him some minutes before he goes on a. He's not playing any football.
So who are you pulling off for that?
I don't care. Our defense is that strong that I think you can pull off Skelly or Timber if you had to in that particular type of game. They weren't like getting anything on us, right? I mean, to some degree, I would have liked to bring Calafiore in and maybe push him further up the pitch because we needed something different. You know what I mean?
There though, if you bring Calafiore in that moment, or what do you cause yourself a defensive liability, right?
Like I said, you push him further up the pitch.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then so you push him further away from that back line. So, I mean, I think there are answers. I think Jorginho not getting minutes sometimes is a little weird. I think a lot of people thought Jorginho would come in for a Partey at some point in the game.
Yeah. It was a boring game.
Yeah, I think Nathan Butler or Deji.
That's a name.
Could have got some minutes in this game. I know Moreno scored early in the game, but I think he goes spells where you're like, he's not going to work through and get any better. You know what I mean?
He could have did Zinchenko for Rice.
Yeah.
That's a tough one. If I'm going to take Rice off, I'm bringing Jorginho on.
That's what weirdest thing to me. We went about 20 games in all competitions before Jorginho played, and last year every time he came in, he helped the teams. I don't know why he's so out of favor with Arteta this year.
I think it's got more to do with the fact of his age profile, and there are better options at this point. I think Partey has done a full season. I think Rice and Partey are probably the first 2 choices if it comes down to it. And then I thought Jorginho for $12 million was a really good deal when we got him, and I mean just the presence in the locker room too. On top of that, for the young guys like the Skellies and where we can learn from a guy like that. But I have to agree with BX on Zinchenko. And this goes back to my Tomiyasu comment from earlier.
Well, it's just I've heard this multiple times.
Yeah,
Pep is killing football because everybody thinks they can play Pep football, and guess what? You can't play Pep football because one, you don't have Pep money. You don't have Pep the money that he's been allocated.
Yep.
So you can't just go and get certain players that fit the role and can do the things that he's asked them to do, and then if it doesn't work out, go get another one.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if Pep's completely killed football, but
no, people think they can mimic it, and it's not easy to do. That's why when somebody else comes out and surprises, you're like, oh, we can't play a different style of football, right?
I think so. The answer to that is this. I'm sorry, Tony. Let me finish it real quick. So the answer to that is I have to agree with Tom on this when he talks about Pep, and Pep's really good. Like you'd be kind of ignorant to not sit there and deny that he's somewhat of a genius, but at the same time, kind of like you said, when you get all the money, it's all the players.
That's like Phil Jackson, right?
Yeah.
Can everybody be a Phil Jackson? No, because you haven't worked with Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, and those are your cornerstones of the franchises that you worked with for like 15 years. Nobody's had that.
Name a job of a more worthless. Name a more worthless job in the world than an NBA head coach.
Yeah. Well, now, but I mean, I think Phil Jackson was able, Phil Jackson was able to get it to work, and I think, and how many trophies does he have? 8.
Oh well, 9, I mean, again, when you coach Jordan and Kobe, but again, on the flip side, to defend Phil, that's also managing those personalities.
Well, I mean, that's Pep, right? Pep has won trophies wherever he's gone, and you can name the best player on the team, and they are still memorable, and some of them are winning Ballon d'Ors and stuff like that, right? right? I mean, when you're coaching Messi, I think you make a name for yourself. You go to Bayern Munich, right? And then it's like Lewandowski. You're like, all right, yeah, one of the tops. You go to City, and then it's KDB, and then Rodri, right? Those are the big names in the league when they were at their peak. So
yeah,
he's been managing some of the top players and world class players wherever he's gone. This year. I mean, yes, Haaland is there, but they don't have that world class player that sits towards the top of the list right now. Right, and that's why they're struggling.
I'm going to disagree with Spencer because I'm a Thunder fan, and our head coach started off as the D League coach, and we've had all.
Basketball is not the same
rebuild.
now as it is then. You're talking about a different era of basketball, and then trying to mimic it and say it's the same thing. It's not.
But he said it's a totally useless job, and I don't.
No, it's not the same as it was back then.
I mean, I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm not tone deaf. I couldn't go be an NBA coach. I mean, let's not kid ourselves.
The fact that Oklahoma City can do it with the player that they have, I know the name, but he's not LeBron. He's not Doncic, right? You know what I mean? He's not one of the top. He's not. His name isn't at that level just yet, right? They might have a really good team, right? But he is not the Michael Jordan of the NBA right now in terms of level of influence in the game. All right, he's playing some really good football. Is it Shea Gideon? I think his name, right?
Yeah, Shea Gideon Alexander.
Yeah, but he's not he's not even LeBron right now, right? And LeBron is not even LeBron right now.
I don't know, but someone told me that Nikola Jokic is the best player in basketball. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot of players that sit above him right now. So yeah, he's on a really good. They're having one of the best seasons, but it's because a lot of people are injured.
Nuggets.
Yeah, no, I Ethan should get called up. I agree with that. Don't get me wrong. Ray has been great until the last month. As for doing what Arteta wants, Ray is still responsible for reading the game and being where he needs to be. Yeah, and that's kind of trust. You've got to put trust on your player, your fullback to be able to manage that ball when it comes, right?
Well,
that's like when who is it? Saliba made a terrible pass, and then Ray was asked to clean up the mess. All right. Isn't it Saliba? I think it was that made a terrible pass. Yeah. Right. So I kind of felt like you back up your players sometimes, and you know what? And then you also trust that they're going to make the right pass in front of you, the right play in front of you, and all of that. So, thanks for joining us. Talk to you later. Yeah.
The truth is, we play high risk football. You're playing out from a back, then you're using your fullbacks as wingers, basically, instead of doing it with a back three. You're doing it with two guys. So, and those two guys are usually past the halfway line. You got so to me, it's up to all five of them to be communicating. Usually, you have Gabriel that's good at communicating, but I'm not sure if he's able to communicate when you're screaming 50 yards away from other player in a full stadium. I don't, not sure if you're to hear or see the signal that he's giving you. So it's breakdown of communication between all five of them, in my opinion. But it's down to the high risk football Arteta plays.
Yeah. BX kind of doesn't like LeBron because he didn't participate in the dunk contest or play at Rucker Park, and that's the Doncic and Jovic, the Joker, not Joker, but they're not going to participate in the dunk contest, and they never played at Rucker Park, but they're some of the top players in the league. I don't know if that criteria works for me. He's a flop king now, but you know what? LeBron is not Jordan. He is not Kobe. He is not Shaq. He is not Bird. He is not Matt. I mean, there's lots of players that I think are ahead of him. It's his era right now, and he's the one that's done the most in his era.
This is the Stephon Curry era.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No,
I just know
I hear
that's
what you're
what
saying, but I'm just saying
NBA
LeBron.
2K has a Steph Curry. I don't know.
I hear you, but I when LeBron was at the Heat, I liked him, right? All right. When he was at the Lakers, I hated him. Chicago, I hated him. So, right.
I'll tell you
That final against Dallas, that's where LeBron let me down. He let Nowitzki. Sorry,
You're good.
He let him take over the game late every damn game, and that needed to be his time. He let that was all on LeBron. That's where Jordan and Kobe would have never let that happen. It would never. Wait, you get to score the winning bucket in pretty much 3 out of the 4 games. Nah.
And the difference there too is, Gary, is that LeBron's rested and plays. He doesn't play 100% strength like Jordan would or Westbrook.
That's why they're different levels, man. That's why I'm saying there's different levels at this thing. Like, I mean, Steph Curry might be the best, but Steph Curry has his own kind of issues as well, right? I mean, so I don't know. He might be. I think Steph Curry is really good shooter, but is he a really good all around basketball player? I don't know about that.
I don't think so.
I don't think he can control the game the way you want him to. At that position. Like for me, I think. Oh my gosh! No. Who played? Oh my gosh! My name slips my mind now. He played for the Nets. He played for Georgetown. He was a point guard, like 160 pounds, but he dominated games.
Jason Williams.
No, he played for Georgetown.
Yeah, Jason Williams wasn't that smart.
Yeah, no, he played for Georgetown under Robinson. Oh my God, why can't I can't think of his name?
You're not talking about
I can't think of who you're talking about either.
Kidd, are you?
Who?
You're not talking Jason Kidd, are you?
No, Georgetown. No, I have to look it up.
It was a point guard. That's what it was.
He was definitely.
But the difference is now you spread the court. You have 7-foot guys shooting like Kevin Durant. He's listed as 6'10", but he's really 7'3". So, giant.
When I used to play, indoor, they had AAU come through one time, right? And Kevin Durant's brother's team was there. They beat the dog shit out of somebody like 87-9. It was so bad. We were just kind of like, we didn't watch it.
Allen Iverson can dominate the game at 165 pounds.
You said Nets, though. He played for the 76ers.
Okay, my bad.
It's okay. Nets, I would have figured it out at 76ers.
That's why I said Georgetown, because that one I knew was right. Allen Iverson, 165 pounds, dominated games.
Gary, come on. Instead of training, you say practice. How the fuck didn't you give us practice?
You know what? That didn't even. Like I said, my mind went blank. But Allen Iverson, as a guard, small guard, dominated games. Like he took the team on his back. Right? He got his team on his back and got him to finals. Right?
I mean, listen,
and he had nobody else.
If he had practiced a little harder, though, I think they would have won more. I can't confirm that that's accurate, but that's what the story goes, and at least that's what the soundbite says.
He's talking practice, man, not a game. Not a game.
I mean, so again, the basketball game, like, I don't know, like, it's superstar driven more than anything else. But and I'm not taking anything away from Phil Jackson. He's still got to manage those personalities. I just.
Yeah,
he's been very blessed.
Sorry, AI. You're right. AI. My bad.
He's been made.
I'm just wondering.
Game in the house. Welcome to the show. Yeah.
I just wonder if Phil Jackson could do it now with all these guys that.
Yes.
Everybody has like a super 3. I mean, I think it would be harder to do what he did now.
Yeah, the game's different. The game is different. Yeah. I actually went to a finals game. I went to the lowest scoring finals game, Bulls versus Heat. I think the total score was like under 130 points.
How could they be at the finals game? They're same conference.
Not sorry, Eastern Conference. Eastern.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Eastern Conference. Sorry.
I'll be fair with you, like, and this is nostalgia for me, but the '90s NBC with the NFL theme on NBC was so good, and then even the '90s and NBA on NBC, that theme was just, they're both GOAT themes. If you haven't seen them, just look them up. They're just it's good stuff, man. And Gary knows what I'm talking about. And Tom does that the '90s NBC basketball stuff. You know, you can remember the Christmas days. You get Reggie Miller out there. You get your Knicks would be on. The Bulls would play. I mean, that's before the NFL decided to tell the NBA, like, look, we're taking Christmas Day from you guys. And the NFL takes everything from anybody. So,
I really like those 5 NBA Christmas Day games.
I just remember that's what you watched. You know, you got up in the morning, you opened your presents, you watched some Christmas stuff.
Yeah, Bull versus Heat, 75-68.
What year was that? 1987.
97.
10 years off.
Yeah.
97. So all right, so that would have been Tim Hardaway, Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah.
And that would have yeah.
Yeah, I got to see that game. I had to see that game. I spent like about $600 and I sat in the last row. There are people standing up behind me.
Yeah, again, you know, this I think defense was more important back then. I think it was played more pure back then, right? There's a little bit, they were a little hand checking and things like then, but like now it's just kind of like, I don't hate the 3-point, but you remember when we grew up, the dunk was like the coolest thing. Now it's the 3-pointer from 40 feet away, and it still looks so good, you know, like
that's because you don't have hand checking is why that happens.
Yeah. I think, and that's why I like Steph Curry for me. Like, you say he can't control a game, but if he hits like 2 or 3 threes in a row, I mean, that's just, you have to answer back, right?
Yeah.
And it's a different level of controlling a game, right? If we're honest, like, I don't think he defensively would control it, but
yeah. I mean, Iverson finished under with people leaning on him. That guy really good. Really good. Just he never had the squad. Never had the squad.
I remember Klay Thompson. I think he hit 11 3-pointers in a row against the Thunder.
Yeah. Your Thunder, right? Yeah.
My Thunder.
You're Oklahoma City Thunder.
I mean, the Thunder have screwed up. I mean, you had Harden, you had 3 of the top players in the league on one squad, and you can't get it to work. You know, that's
what gets me is it was only $1.2 billion difference on Harden, and you know Harden's getting ad revenue, so I still don't understand why he didn't stay. 1.2 million with what you get from your sponsors. That's silly.
Cool. You know, we're getting close to 90 minutes here. We talked about the game for a little bit, and then we went off on a tangent, which I mean, I don't mind. I think we'll be back next Monday. We could, if we wanted to, we could talk about the game then. But yeah, no. As I said, I'm taking the 3 points. I still want to talk, and I guess we did talk. We didn't talk much about the game.
We're talking about 3 pointers,
here we go.
Gary.
Before we go, anybody think the header from Moreno was an attempt at a shot?
Yeah, I do.
Think it was.
I mean,
early in that game, I said, "Can we at least get our head on?" Can we get a head on? I think it was Timber. Just get a head on and push it forward, and he headed it straight out. And then a few minutes later, Moreno gives a header, which would have been perfectly timed for somebody to just tap it in, but it went in. So there you go. There you go. That Mason Oakley, that Jackson Knicks team, rough and tough, man.
Mm-hmm. Those are
Rough.
real men.
Yeah, that was a strong front line.
The Pistons. I love their defense.
Yeah, I mean,
Or Lambert.
I don't. They did play. Did the Knicks and the Pistons play each other back in those days? I don't know, you know.
Yeah, they're Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
but the bad boy Knicks weren't. The Pistons weren't still around by that time.
That's what I was wondering if they were. Yeah.
But that was some real stuff back there. Like, I mean, this stuff today. I mean, LeBron gets someone blowing on him, and he's like, "Oh no." You don't know when I'm watching football or basketball sometimes, and I watch LeBron.
Watch some of the stuff that went on without Bill Lambert and Larry Bird. That flagrant foul, no ejections. I mean, they were throwing haymakers and staying in the game.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen.
Yes, it's about that time.
Yeah.
Cool. So, Tiger and Good, I have relayed that message to Ray. I guess I'll reach out to you. But that's 2009, 2010, Shaq played in Cleveland with LeBron for one season, I believe. Yeah. I think he was at his end of his days, if I recall. Then trying to trace that trophy, because I think he was at the Heat as well, if I recall. I thought Shaq was, but trying to chase that another trophy because he wanted to catch up. We got Lonzo in the house. Thanks for joining us. We're about to head out of here. Huh?
It seems like you moved. It seemed like you moved like 3 or 4 times, like his last year.
Yeah, just trying. It's like Charles Barkley trying to get that trophy. He's always a day late and $1 short wherever he went.
Poor Chuck, he couldn't get it done. He tried.
He goes to Houston and they have he's like, dude, you just won 2. Can you help me? Help a brother out? Like, nah, man. We tapped out. The way that the Phoenix Suns lost to Jordan, that was the dagger, right? That's probably when it's like, sorry, Chuck, you ain't winning a trophy.
Yeah.
Not when you lose like that, right? Not when you lose like that.
It's a Chuck. You can't be in the Western Conference right now.
Yeah. I actually met Chuck in Miami. I was at a tequila bar or something like that, and he was there. He doesn't look much. I didn't feel like he was that much taller than me. I know he's supposedly over 6 feet, but he didn't look that much taller. But nice guy. All right, let everybody have their say. And Pippen was good, but he's not Jordan, Kobe, and Shaq level. So just not that level. I'll let everybody have their say, and let's get out of here. Spencer, what say you?
Happy Monday. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Stay safe. And enjoy. I don't really have much. I mean,
cool. We got not much. We have nothing on the docket for the next show, so we can anything you missed, write it down. We can bring it up.
Yeah, I'll think about. We'll figure something out next week. Maybe we'll have some sort of new director news, or
that would be really nice to hear about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure they'll release a new, I don't know, warm-up gear or something.
And a new pair of shorts, yeah.
Something that you can waste money on.
All right, Tony, what you got to say?
It's too close to the end of the season. You'll be seeing next year's kits. I haven't even looked. They're probably available already, but I hope we're already doing our summer business.
That's why Burton needs to be. That's why he needs to be announced like yesterday. I know Arsenal likes to drag these things out for no good reason.
But it's like it is like February, March, and like early April, really when you're working on these deals, then you finalize them usually in June because that's when everybody's contract ends.
So they got he you know, I have no doubt he's doing a little bit of work on the side. So
He better be.
I have no yeah. Dan Marley. I mean, the NBA is different than it is now. I remember I remember Dan Marley. I can't remember some of these basketball players these days, right? So yeah, good basketball back in the days. Different time now. Thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed the chat. We went here, there, and everywhere today. Yeah, went to basketball, and then back to a little bit of football, and then back to basketball. And
you got mad at me for going to American football.
Well, yeah, I definitely did because I didn't. Maybe you know what? Because I don't want you doing anything. Nah, you're all right, Tony. You're all right.
You just want me to show up every.
Just show up and just shut your mouth and agree with what I have to say.
Come on, we can't be like some of those other channels that are like we literally have Arsenal channels out there that are just groupthink, and if you have a different opinion, you get literally attacked for it.
Yeah,
so
no, I like.
We're not that here. I can tell you that.
I like the fact that we can go back and forth on things.
Spencer is usually the one that has a different opinion, and whenever Kurt criticizes you for it.
Yeah,
no,
that's a good one. It's hard to say its opinion. You never know who's right or not unless what you're saying actually happens on the pitch, which it usually doesn't because Arteta's stubborn as a government mule.
True. Yeah, Vinny Del Negro. I remember him from college more than I do from the NBA. Jeff Hornacek with the running J, right? The only way a guard can score in the paint, right? Unless you're Iverson. Now you just shoot threes. So the game has changed.
You spread the court and you shoot a three.
There you go. All right, folks. It was fun. We will see you guys on the next one. Enjoy the international break. We'll see where everybody's playing. Maybe we'll get some word on who's practicing for Arsenal and Berter news. Yes, Berter watch. But we're out of here. Everybody, enjoy. Life is a journey. Don't waste your trip. Cool.